Hey, this is Travis.
Hey, this is Jason. We're the QBs on Wheels, and last night or yesterday, I guess, we watched week one, and I think we did pretty good. We did our pick six, and it wasn't too shabby. And Travis, who do you have? You have one that was not so good.
No, the Browns versus the Titans, and for some ungodly reason, the Browns look like their old self. They got spanked 43 to 13.
I'll tell you, the only thing that I really liked about the Browns yesterday was their uniforms. I like those solid brown
Yeah,
and orange uniforms. They're pretty cool looking.
yeah, I did like
But
that.
unfortunately, it's like lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I knew they needed a little time to get their mojo in place, but wow, I didn't think it was gonna be that bad.
My early game was the Ravens. Just the opposite. Their young QB ended up tying a Ravens franchise record with 5 touchdown passes, and they ended up winning 59-10. That sounds like a college football score, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Now, I I wouldn't go crazy with Baltimore because I don't think he's going to be doing that every week because it was Miami, but they did
Right.
kill him. They look real good, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I think I what I liked about that game is that we knew that Baltimore's defense was going to be great, but we really didn't know what we were going to get if they were going to be able to score. Well, they got a little practice scoring, that's for sure.
Yeah, I did not think Lamar Jackson was going to do what he did. He looked real good. But yeah, my first win though was Seattle beat Cincinnati Bengals 21-20. They just man, it was a close game. I didn't think it was going to be that close, but they got the W, so I guess that's
Yeah,
all that matters.
and since he had the ball at the end, they were moving, so you know they just ran out of clock.
Yeah.
Good game, good game. Well, my team, you may, if you forget who it is, you can read it off my chest. The Dallas Cowboys looked great. Uh, 35 points. They won 37-17. Um, the Giants did not look as bad as I expected, to be honest. The first quarter was uh, it was tight, and Eli looked like the old Eli, but then the Cowboys' offense just performed. Dak Prescott had a great game.
Yes.
Set a record for
First
um
half.
he set a record for most yards in the first game of the season. Broke Troy Aikman's record from 1999 by about 5 yards, and uh, Joe Buck was teasing Troy Aikman during the broadcast, and Troy's like, I had no idea I had a record like that. He's not real hung up on his stats, so but yep, you're in good company, Dak.
Yeah, Zeke didn't look too great, but I mean, we kind of figured that he was going to be a little slummy. But Dak, man, he picked up the slack big time. He looked real good.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think they had Tony Pollard, who had a really good preseason, and they put him in for a decent number of the carries. He and Zeke were really about 50-50 in terms of the number of plays. And Pollard does a good job of blocking.
Yeah,
So I think that what we didn't see with Zeke was simply because he was not in every play.
yeah,
Uh, He did get a TD though, so at least he's starting to earn that paycheck.
Yep. Yeah, my next game was the Chiefs over the Jags, and man, did they didn't look like they skipped a beat either. 40-26. Patrick Mahomes had like 300 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. He looked amazing. So I think they're gonna wreak havoc. I think so.
We'll talk a little bit more about individual players tomorrow. But it's worthy of mentioning that Nick Foles is broke his clavicle. He could be out for the season. They did put him on IR, and they traded with the Steelers a draft pick with the Steelers to bring in Josh Dobbs, who is a Steelers third string QB, and now he'll be backing up or being a backup uh, in Jacksonville. So Jacksonville, who was my pick for winning their division, is in trouble. They still have a good D, but without Nick Foles, that may be the end of my season for Jacksonville to pull out the upset in their division.
Yeah, I know you. We're gonna talk about it more tomorrow, but I I seen 3 different people hurt their clavicle yesterday. So
Yeah, there was a lot of pretty significant injuries for week 1.
yeah.
Well, my final game went down to the wire, and then it was just a phenomenal game. Kyler Murray was down by 16, and they came back, scored 16 points in the fourth quarter, and a 2-point conversion, and he just looked phenomenal after a slow start. He had a great fourth quarter, and then the Cards got the ball in overtime, marched it down the field, added 3 points, and then the Lions went the other way and added 3 points. And really, it came down to running out of time. They got the tie, but what isn't in the stat sheet was that the Lions QB threw an interception, or threw a ball that hit the defender right in the chest, and he failed to catch the interception. And it would have given the Cardinals the ball back with about 20 seconds left in field goal range. So that drop wasn't really a drop. He got pummeled right in the chest. But that opportunity lost probably meant that the Cardinals didn't get the win. They had to settle for the tie.
What about Larry Fitzgerald, man?
That guy looks like he was 20 years old again.
God, like never ages, man. It's unbelievable. He's
Yep.
second. He's second in all-time receiving yards, and he's still playing like he's 20 years old. That's unbelievable.
114 yards on the day. All right, let's take a look at our overall score. Travis went 2-1-0. Jason went 2-0-1. Overall, I think we did pretty well, 4-1-1. The head-to-head, which was Thursday night's game, I'm up by 1. And we have 2 games tonight on Monday Night Football. So since I'm in the lead, I'll let Travis pick first. Who you got Monday night?
I think I'm gonna take the Saints over Houston, even though it could go either way. That one's gonna be a good one too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tight game. All right, I can live with Houston. In the other game, I'm gonna take the Broncos. I think Denver has something to show this season, uh, and that gives you the Raiders, which
And the Raiders, oh man,
the,
there's
the
not really much to say about them.
although they haven't been on the field since the whole uh, let's just not mention his name again.
Yeah,
After the drama,
I'm sick of that fella.
yeah. So anyhow, after the drama is over, who knows? Maybe it's one of those things that'll lift the weight off their shoulders and they'll all play better. Um,
Speaking of him though, the Patriots looked phenomenal last night, and they didn't even have him on the field. So I'm
yeah,
kind of worried about the old Patriots, man. They might try out for another Super Bowl. And I was more impressed with the defense than the offense. And Antonio Brown's not even on their team yet. So that's I don't know, man. They're gonna be a good little team.
yeah, yeah. I was kind of disappointed to see that the uh, Pittsburgh Steelers were just they didn't look like a championship contender last night.
No, Ben Roethlisberger looked like I don't know, man. He has like an extra 20 pounds holding him down or something. He just did not look like the old Ben Roethlisberger at all.
Yeah, Big Ben was looking even like bigger Ben.
Yeah, something.
All right, so we got our picks for tonight, and tune in tomorrow where you will recap the whole week and hit you with a few more injury updates. There's one in particular that we'll be interested to talk about. A guy who signed a huge contract, and 2 days later he could be on injured reserve for the season. We'll find out more tomorrow.
Peace.